Tony. So Tony, people are talking about too much of data. I mean, Gideon says that data is too much. You need to analyze it and then pull a professional in the patent side. How do you look at patent volume of how much information can a startup patent data?
Yeah, apologies, you're breaking up a little bit, so I'm not entirely sure how um, clear this is, and I only heard part of the question, but yeah, I will say, to Gideon's point, there's it's funny too, because one of the taglines for my company is data-driven decisions. So we have that much in common. And I think we also have a similar approach where I once upon a time came up with this idea, what I refer to as the linear law of patent analytics. And the linear law was pretty straightforward in the sense that um, the need drives the question drives the data drives the tool. And so it's this progression through the ideas of how is it that you're going to provide value or insight to a particular business need. And so, that's something that we do at Patent Informatics as far as all the patent analytics projects that we run through, is we start with what's the need? What's the need behind the need? Why is the business looking to discover something? What are they going to do with that information? How are they going to drive their business goals forward by having these additional insights? And then once the need behind the need is identified, then you can start asking the right questions. And once you have the right questions, you can start compiling the right data. And once you have the right data, you can start thinking about models and pieces of software and different types of analyses. And finally, once you've gotten that all pulled together, you have to identify those insights and communicate those back to the client in some capacity that's going to allow them to have actionable insight. And so, once again, very much along the lines of what Gideon was saying, the projects that we do are very custom, just because it's absolutely essential that you have a really clear idea of what the company intends to do with that data, what exactly they need to be successful, and what sort of insights you can provide them in order to allow them to do that. And once again, it's you're taking this systematic, linear approach, going step by step, has been something that's worked very well for us, and has consistently provided solid insight and actionable insight and intelligence for our clients.
Fantastic, Anthony. Thank you so much for summarizing the entire work of patent informatics very easily. So what Tony is saying is they understand from where the client is coming from. They ask them the question of why they need what they need, what is their target, and how they want to achieve that target. And from these answers of why, what, and how, they actually put out a report which gives enough information, enough visuals for any startup to reach to their goal by using patent information. That's fantastic work, Anthony. Thank you so much for sharing that. So we understand, Anthony, that patents are very important for any technology, right? So how should we look at evolution of any particular technology using the patent data? How does a patent information or a patent report can actually help out any company to evaluate that?
Okay, well, you could talk a lot about that particular question. I'll keep it relatively brief in the sense that there's been a couple of different studies that suggest that anywhere between 80 to 95% of the information in patents is never published anywhere else. All right, so if you really want to have a solid idea about what's happening in the technology ecosystem, you really have to be looking at patents. I don't think there's really any question or really any doubt about it. Now, different technological areas move faster than others. Pharmaceuticals move relatively slowly. Your event window or your strategic window, as it's often called, the idea of going from a blank slate invention all the way to a marketed product, the amount of time that takes is anywhere between 10 to 15 years. And if a patent publishes after 18 months, you've got quite a bit of time outside of that 18 months to be able to anticipate what's going to happen with your competitors, and what's going and what moves are going to occur within a technology area. There are others, though, like quite a bit of the things that are happening now in cloud computing, or things that are happening in e-commerce. There's a variety of technologies that are within 18 months, the industry has come and gone. And so in that particular sense, it's less of a leading indicator of what's going to be happening, but it's still important because the market time, the lifetime or the marketability of these technologies may far exceed the amount of time it takes to get a patent granted, especially with all the different things that are happening at all the different patent offices around the world to accelerate prosecution and allow organizations to get patents much faster. So I think that's where I'll leave that. I haven't seen a technology yet that didn't have some sort of presence with regards to the world of patents and some patenting going on. And since that's the case, it's absolutely essential, critical even, that organizations understand where they stand, what their competitors are doing, and what the benchmark is for their particular industry.
Fantastic. Yes, I mean, precisely, patents would help you to understand multiple things. One of them is, of course, the marketability of a particular invention and the lifetime of the technology, because very often the high tech also gets obsolete, creating a lot of other opportunities and problems at the same time for the companies or the adopters.